Hey guys, JTeds here. Welcome back to another video. First video since last Wednesday. Today we are going to be doing another trade recap. Crazy trading day, I will say, uh, but a banger one. I closed in $250 profit. So, kind of just briefly go over these notes. I took two trades, one short, one long. Um, Banger trading day, regardless. Uh, On the first trade, which was this one right here, just a bad trade. I honestly couldn't tell you what I was thinking. We'll go over that. And then the second trade was pretty good. We'll talk about that too. Rights, I was patient, followed my risk management, and waited for the most part good entries. And wrongs, and maybe think a little bit before just pressing sell. All right, let's go ahead and get into the charts. Okay. Also, sure you probably noticed, looks a little bit different from this, huh? Um, I decided, I wanted to change up my scene a little bit, change up the look of my charts, and honestly, I like it personally. Anyways, let's go ahead and go over this trading day. So first, we had shorts on the S&P 500. Um, this happened at like not even an hour in the market open, which was freaking insane. Market opened here roughly, came down, filled this for value gap, swept liquidity, went crazy high. Like I'm literally talking. Hold on, how big of a move is it? So this was started moving up from at 8:43 to 9:16. So that's like 30 minutes, kind of like 35 minutes, right? I want to see how big of a move this was. This was a 416 point move. That is freaking insane. Anyways, mm, so we had this big, huge area of accumulation on the S&P 500, which I marked out last night. Actually, we like you know we actually tapped into it and it started going higher. So I mean, let's talk about look. Liquidity sweep, 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 liquidity sweep. Filled a daily fair value gap way down here. Just barely tapped into this area of accumulation. Alright. And then we started massively recovering. Um, to we started just massively recovering. Um, let's cut back down here. Alright. Let's go over this trade. Okay, so here's what happened. Price. I marked out this area of accumulation right here, because we didn't sweep liquidity or nothing. Price came down, tapped, went up a little bit, tapped, came up, came back down, tapped, came up a little bit, went back down and tapped. Now, for me, stupid thought process here, but I still gotta talk about it. I enter right. Wait, is this right? Yeah, I believe it is. Okay, yeah, it was something like this. But I enter, right here we had a break of structure to the downside, right here, and then price, kind of came up, entered me in right here at this 5 minute fair value gap. Okay, and then price came down, swept these equal lows I have marked out, filled this area of accumulation, and then in a single freaking 73. What am I doing? 73 point freaking 1 minute candle stopped me out. Sorry, 74 point. That's freaking insane. Anyways, that happened, and I was like, oh man, okay. Well, to be honest, I don't know what I was thinking here. Everything said bullish. We had crazy bullish order flow earlier today. Price came back down, tapped into this 15-minute fair value gap, tapped into it again, made an area of accumulation. Price taps in a few times. Everything was still saying bullish. There was nothing saying bearish. Because boom, break of structure, rally higher, come down, area of accumulation, high, area of accumulation. There was no break of structure of a prominent high, or sorry, a prominent low. Now, if price came down here, broke structure to the downside here, and invalidated this 15-minute value gap, then I should have flipped bearish. I could not tell you what I was thinking here. I'll be completely honest. This was very stupid of me. But, regardless, it happened. We learned from things. But yeah, I could not tell you what happened there. But I got my head on straight. I'm saying I was literally talking to myself like this whenever I got stopped out. Actually, no, whenever I entered the trade, I was like, wait, why did I enter this trade? Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about my recovery. Delete that. Oh. Okay, so I noticed this big candle, right? So what I do, mark equilibrium. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set my stop. I think I said like the middle of this fair value gap. Yeah, actually, right. Yeah. So yeah, the middle of this fair value gap, and it was in equilibrium, or it was in discount zone for equilibrium, right? Set my entry right there. Set my stops below these lows. What did price do? Leg down like crazy. Filled this inverse fair value gap. Filled this area of accumulation one last time, and then just started legging up, legging up, legging up. Boom, a little bit of a consolidation, upward consolidation. Consolidate, and then boom, right here. Great trading day. I will say, I believe my first take profit initially was like here, right? But I noticed the amount of buying pressure, and I was like, okay, this is a 1.84 hour trade. I think I could do much better. So, what did I do? I did not obviously target this high, because honestly, that's too ambitious for me. But I targeted the most recent, like more prominent of the highs, and that was this one. So, yeah, that's kind of it. Um, I guess we could also talk about why I decided to enter this too. So, here's what I noticed. Okay, failed my short position. Price legged up and a single 1 minute candle broke multiple structures to the upside, right? The buying pressure was obviously there. Okay, we started coming back down. Okay, how about this equilibrium play? So I set up my entry right here, you know, and then the reason why I immediately thought would definitely go on higher is because of this inverse value gap. And break of structure, obviously. I've been thinking, like, doing a lot of research lately and backtesting a good bit with these inverse fair value gaps on the 1 minute time frame, and they are freaking amazing. They don't work as well on the 15-minute and 5 minute time frames, in my opinion. Just like what I've noticed, they work best on the 1 minute time frame, and I find it best that if you have a 5 minute break of structure paired with a 1 minute inverse fair value gap, that's typically a good sign of entry. However, on most of them that I've noticed, the price never actually retraces back to the said inverse fair value gap. That's what I've noticed. It never, it rarely does. So this was actually a bit of a rarity. Usually, how it works is I've seen people like it's like this right here, boom, 1 minute candle, 1 minute candle, 1 minute candle, boom, we broke structure to the upside and validated this fair value gap. Price does tend to come down a little bit, maybe to rebalance a little bit of equilibrium or something, but never really like to fulfill its own fair value gap. Doesn't really come down to this inverse fair value gap. I don't see this really as an entry tool per se. I see this more as a confirmation and change of trend. Me personally. I know a lot of ICT people are like, you gotta enter off of it, you gotta enter off of it. I backtested it a good bit, and this seems to be the best play. But, anyways, I don't really have much else to talk about, guys. Actually, I don't really want to get rid of everything. Hold on. I just want to get rid of these. Everything else, I think, is good to stay. Alright. And as you can see, record breaking volatility today. Jesus. Alright, so, what we got here? Oh, it's a bullish for value gap. I think this is good to go. Mm, oh, would you look at this? Accumulation zone right here got revisited. Might keep an eye on that for tomorrow. Other accumulation zones, I can see this one being visited. For sure, I can see that one being visited. Maybe I, mm, I'll classify like this bit right here as area of accumulation. Maybe not all of this. Maybe just this. But yeah, the S&P is recovering, guys. So is Nasdaq actually. Yeah, Nasdaq is also recovering pretty well. Gold. We'll go ahead and talk about this too. I just didn't decide to trade gold today. Obviously, we had amazing volatility today. All shorts on gold. Um, we retraced to this 4 hour for value gap last night, and then we, kind of chop, 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 chop. I'm trying to see. Okay, yeah. Trying to check on something. Uh, Move up that caused a liquidity sweep. Okay, I'm just marking these out. We have a nice little order block right here. Price. I mean, honestly, if you're targeting sell side liquidity here and you, uh, yeah, if you're targeting sell side liquidity here, and then if you entered a market open, not down here, price came up to here, swept liquidity, filled this at 9:15. Yeah, if you entered shorts right here. I mean, honestly, I think I'm good to start looking at gold again. Like I said, price action has been terrible on gold though. Hold on. And target these lows. Boom. 3.5 hour trade would have been in this from 9:15 to 11:55. Not a bad trade. This is obviously a trade that, that I would have personally taken. I wasn't really looking at gold though. I mean, yeah, I came on later in the day and did earlier like wait what hold on. Yeah, I came whenever price was already down here, right? I think this would have been a good opportunity to set up a limit order or something before I went to school, but oh well, it happens. But um, again, I just think like these type of trades and stuff would be a lot better to be taken and stuff once I actually you know don't have to go to school. I think that's like my biggest thing right now, um, which like trying to trade. So, and honestly, hold on. Textbook move up here. Fill for value gap. Boom, made liquidity, swept liquidity. Oh my gosh, textbook. Tapped into this order block not once, but twice. Boom, tapped in. Like if you got in here, hold on. Break of structure to the upside, consolidation, manipulation, or not really manipulation. Boom, we filled this value gap and stuff, right? I probably would end it up here. And then I probably would have targeted these highs. Oh yeah, I could see myself targeting these highs. Targeting these highs. That would have been from 2 to 8. Not the greatest trade. I don't really trade PM sessions, so I probably wouldn't have been to this trade. Good trade for a PM session though, I guess. Wait, and plus I'm looking at this on the 5-minute time frame. Let's see, I was looking on the 1 minute. Boom, liquidity sweep, massive order block, right? Wait, I want to test something. Okay. 5-minute for value gap in the discount zone. Oh, and would you look at that? Retracement to an inverse for value gap. Maybe I'm wrong about the inverse ones. Maybe like on at least a 5-minute, 1 minute and 5-minute time frames, they do like to retrace to them. Honestly, this probably would have been a good trade to enter because it's in discount. Whenever I have something like inverse fair value gap, discount, and a fair value bullish fair value gap or something, or like vice versa if I'm in shorts, but if I have like all of those right here, and I mean I would think price is gonna dip down, especially with this type of consolidation. Yeah, not bad, not bad. And then if you enter it at the top of that, stops below here. Targeting, let's say you just target these highs, let's say 1.4, and then if you target these highs, 2.37 R. Not bad, not bad. What is this here? I don't know. We are just going to remove all of this. Alright, sorry guys for dragging that on. I have nothing else to talk about. All in all, good day. Oh yeah, I'll show you my thing. So, lost $103 on that first short, plus 352 on that second one. We are up to $336 on the month so far. Up 3.36%. Let's go. Alright. Nothing left to talk about. If you guys enjoyed tonight's video, please like and subscribe. And if you have something for me, please leave it in the comments. Go follow my Instagram. I post pretty often on my story and stuff there. Working out Instagram posts though. And I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Good night.